Good Friday morning. This is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for this Friday, December 16th. On the precipitation charts over the past 7 days, we look at what's occurred and not much at all. Almost no precipitation south of the mountains of central Idaho and just a scattering here across the Uintas. You can see how this compares to normal. The red shades basically 10% of normal or less, where you see blank colors basically 0% of normal, so extremely dry again for the past week. Snowfall over the past 72 hours again, just a few inches, 2 to 4 inches up here in the mountains of central Idaho, a little bit higher locally here in the Uintas, and up here in the Jackson Hole area towards the Tetons, again maybe a few inches. Snow cover map continues to be fairly deep across the mountains of central Idaho and the mountains of western Wyoming. Much below normal amounts further south, just about 6 to 12 inches of snow depth at most across the higher terrain of northern Utah, and nothing in the higher terrain south of there. Satellite imagery shows that one low pressure system is closed off down across the Baja region, allowing high pressure to nose in a little bit. Some of this faster flow and actually the cool air behind this low did allow for some mixing and some inversions to break apart. The good news is that we have another storm system now pushing into the Pacific Northwest. This will keep air quality good, so we don't expect to see a reestablishment of inversions in the immediate future. This system can actually bring some light precipitation to our northern areas. So looking at later today, we see that frontal system pushing through Nevada into Idaho and into far northwest Utah by later on this evening. Air quality overall still not too great because of the cloud cover here. The sun will not mix down, but improving across some of our southern and eastern areas. Transport winds will start picking up a little bit across the eastern areas of Nevada and into Utah, light further to the west. Vertical mixing, especially across Nevada and in far northwestern Utah with increasing clouds, fairly poor. Now for Saturday, that frontal system pushes through into Utah and Wyoming. Look at how much the dispersion index improves. These areas in white indicate where dispersion is excellent, so that includes most areas, and very few areas in the purple or red. That's because we have very strong transport winds here on the left, and mixing heights also improving quite a bit, several thousand feet above ground level on the right. And then on Sunday, that storm system moves through, another system moving up and over the ridge, bringing some clouds and some precipitation to parts of Idaho. Air quality still fairly decent, especially the further south and east you go. That's where the best transport winds will be. That's where the best mixing heights will be. The poorest dispersion again across and mixing across northern Nevada. Now, if we look for Utah for both Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you see that conditions will be improving as we go into Saturday, decreasing a bit Sunday. So basically today will be the worst day here on the left. 3-day precipitation accumulation. Most of this will be with the late Friday, Saturday system. Just a few hundredths to maybe 0.2 of an inch across some of the higher terrain areas of northern Utah and into western Wyoming. So maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow in those areas. On Monday, some moisture still pushes into parts of Idaho, drier to the south. Air quality not terribly bad, better than it has been. Areas in yellow and red, but not as much as in the purple shades. Now another deeper storm system is expected by computer models to push into the Pacific Northwest by Tuesday, and that'll bring increasing winds, increasing dispersion, and we'll also start seeing the storm system deepen and maybe bring more significant precipitation across parts of Utah and into parts of Idaho. Air quality should be improving. Air quality continues to improve with winds behind the system on Thursday, and maybe even another Santa Ana wind system for Southern California by late next week. Precipitation for days 4 and 5, not much. It'll be day 6 where precipitation moves into parts of the Great Basin. And the 8 to 14 day outlook, looking for colder than normal temperatures across most of the area. However, near normal to slightly wetter than normal for our far eastern areas, but remaining much drier than normal for most of Nevada and into most of Idaho as well. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day. Next briefing will be this coming Monday.